Hi, I'm Amber and this is Lily, and we travel all over North America in this converted Ram ProMaster van behind me. And while I love eating out at local restaurants, I've been cooking more and more healthy meals in the van to keep losing weight. I want to show you how you can eat super healthy and easy meals with only a propane stove and an Instant Pot, and occasionally the toaster oven. And by the way, if you like what you're seeing, leave me a comment, consider subscribing, and sharing the video with your friends and family. Lily and I would be super appreciative. Living off-grid means to live or camp without an external hookup to electricity, water, or sewer. So for me, that means camping in a more rural environment with no hookups and using the onboard propane, my 250-watt solar panels for retrieving energy from the sun, and 400 amp hours of lithium batteries for storing that energy. Before I actually head out to the rural lands, I make sure my propane is full, black and gray tanks are emptied, and filled up with fresh water. Then I head to the grocery store to fill the refrigerator so I can stay off-grid as long as possible. So one of the questions that I get quite frequently is it safe to use propane in your van when you're cooking? So some people have the stoves that are actually in the counter, like mine. This is my propane stove cooktop that was built in the RV. Now, some of you guys may not have this. You might bring your own portable one in, especially if you did a DIY van. The other thing that I do is I like to, don't judge me, it's dirty, I need to clean it. I turn the fantastic fan on and help ventilate the area, and that keeps any fumes out. The other thing that I like to do when I'm using the propane stove is I like to open a window. I'll just crack this open a little bit here. And then that way it's ventilated for any smells that come from the stove. So to answer your question, it is safe to use propane inside of your van. If you have the portable cooktops that you're going to bring inside, I just really do highly suggest that you vent the area in case there's a propane leak on one of those canisters. You don't want that propane to accumulate in the van, light a match, and cause a fire. Fires are not good. We do not want fires. I like to use this Montreal chicken seasoning. Doesn't hurt that it's in with the rice. And the chicken will all be cooked by the time it's done, so you don't have to worry about any kind of salmonella poisoning or anything like that. Do both sides. Put this on the desk. And we're gonna put this on pressure cook for 15 minutes and then slow release for 5. One of the questions that I got is, what is the best thing about cooking in the van and what is the worst thing about cooking in the van? So the best thing about cooking in the van is that everything is literally at your fingertips, so it's easy to grab things, put them on the counter, cook, and also clean. The worst thing about cooking in the van is really the refrigerator size. I would like for it to be a lot bigger just because I do cook a lot and I like to get a lot of groceries at one time, prep everything, and put it in the fridge. It's just a little too tiny for my liking, but I've made do on it for 3.5 years and have modified it a little bit to add some trays and storage so that it makes it a little bit easier and I can put a lot of items in there. Beautiful morning. Boy, do I ever love mornings like this. There was a couple of days where it was a bit rainy and windy. Oh my goodness. This breakfast of oatmeal, banana, apple, and pecans. Oh, it's so good and it's so healthy. When I come out to places like this where it's just quiet and there's not a lot to do, I do it with the intention of working a lot. So during this time of the season, which is like November, December-ish, I come out here to the desert and I work so that in January, February, I can play a little bit more. So my days typically are working, walking, doing a little bit of hiking, yoga, working some more, cooking, and just getting healthy. That's one of my main objectives right now, is getting healthy. That's what these healthy meals are all about, is me getting healthy and creating some consistency and that momentum so that I continue on this path of losing weight. Do you want your bed? You want your bed? You can't wait, can you? Do you want your bed? Okay, get in. You can get some sun too? Yeah, does it feel good? What's a good girl? For today's healthy lunch, we're gonna cook what's called an Emerald City salad. If you don't know what Emerald City is, that is the nickname, I guess is what it's called, for Seattle. So I got this recipe from the PCC market there. If you guys are from Seattle, you know what the PCC is. It's absolutely amazing. And they have this beautiful, hearty salad. Now, for those of you who are like, ugh, salad, I don't like salad, I'm telling you, you'll like this one. It's really, really good. It's hearty, it fills you up, and it's got wild rice in it, which is extra amazing. And this salad actually keeps for several days because it's using greens like kale and Swiss chard and peppers, and there's no tomatoes, nothing that's gonna go bad in it. So you can actually make this ahead of time and eat on it for the next 3 or 4 days. Trust me, you'll love it. Before we continue, I want to introduce today's video sponsor, which is Skillshare. I think we pretty much all have these amazing phones that are creating machines where we can create photos and videography and Instagram stories. So I've mastered YouTube for the most part, but I was really light on Instagram and really wanted to figure out how could I better utilize Instagram and Instagram stories to market my business and get my message across to people. So what do I always do? I turn to Skillshare to see what they had to offer. There's this class on Skillshare from Claire Peterson on how to create beautiful Instagram stories, IG secrets, and hacks. Perfect, that's exactly what I was looking for. Claire knows her stuff, and I discovered some creative ways to use Instagram stories for my business and some pretty cool hacks to get my stories noticed in this ever-growing sea of other creators out there. You'll have to take her class to see these cool hacks, but Skillshare has so so many incredible classes for creators like photography, videography, creative writing, and, would you believe it, even meal prep. There's so much more, but I bet you'll find the classes you're looking for with the thousands of classes that Skillshare has to offer. So if you're like me and you want to learn more about Instagram and how to get your message across to more people, then definitely head over to Skillshare using the link in the description box below. And because Skillshare is sponsoring this video today, they are giving the first 1,000 people who click that link in the description box a 1-month free trial to Skillshare Premium membership, and after that it's super cheap, ads free, with tons of classes, unlimited usage. Just go click the link. You're gonna love it. So typically I would use wild rice, just full on wild rice, but they didn't have that in the local grocery, so they had this jasmine red and wild rice, so I'm gonna do that. Just remember, you can cook how you want. This is kind of intuitive cooking, so you can improvise, you can add things to it that you want, you can take things away. So for example, this actually calls for Swiss chard as well. They didn't have Swiss chard at the grocery store, so I bought instead dino kale, which is beautiful and hearty like a Swiss chard. A little bit of a different flavor, but all the same, it's nice and hearty. You wouldn't want to use romaine lettuce in this because that would wilt, so we want these really hearty greens like this. So improvise. We're gonna do 3/4 cup. Oh, I love the smell of parsley. When it's all cut, it just smells so good, and it's a really nice addition to this Emerald City salad. Plus, another use for it is if you do juicing at all, putting parsley in your juices is really good too. Here we have our Emerald City salad. She is beautiful. Now here's the thing. I told you this is intuitive cooking and improvise if you need to. I would not improvise the rice that I used. Stick to wild rice. It's much heartier. This got a little too soft. It's still gonna be good, but it's a little bit sticky. You don't really want it sticky. It should be kind of loose in there. It's still tasty though. So the thing with this is the longer you let it sit in the refrigerator with the lemon juice and olive oil and garlic dressing on it, the better it's going to taste. It's really good. It's still good even with my mushy rice. I'm gonna go on a quick walk, but dang, it's a little chilly outside and a bit windy too. Feels good though, except for the wind. This overhead, beautiful. That sun is shining over there. A lot of times I'll just do something quick and easy, which is taking things that I have in my refrigerator and throwing it all in a bowl. I'm using this already cooked rice that I had and then putting a little bit of rice vinegar in it. Gonna add some cucumber as well, some green scallions, a little bit of avocado, some wild sockeye smoked salmon, and then just combine it all into a bowl. And then tear up these nori strips, which are so amazing inside the bowl. So it's just kind of like a sushi in a bowl. Then some red chili sauce, some soy sauce, some fresh spinach, and then you just mix it all up. What are you doing, honey? Huh? What you doing? Oh, you're good. He's a good girl. What? Hi, baby. Hi. One of the things to remember is you can use a lot of what you already have in the refrigerator as leftovers and combine it with rice or rice noodles or quinoa and make a stir fry. One of the big reasons I'm cooking healthier is so I can continue to lose weight. I've been using Noom to lose weight and it's been really easy, to be honest. I just stay within my caloric budget for the day and using the caloric density scale as a way to make sure I'm eating healthier foods that keep me full. If you want to check out how easy Noom is, click the link in the description box for your free trial as a story chasing viewer. All right, here's another healthy meal that we have here. Rice noodles, yes, are healthy if you're doing the Noom app. This is yellow. It's green, yellow, and red. Yellow is kind of the middle line of caloric density. So you can have these, and we have lots of veggies, and we have a protein over here. If you're vegetarian or vegan, obviously you don't have to do any meat. Everything else in here is perfect for you. It is a beautiful day out. You didn't think I was going to eat that whole bowl, did you? That was way too much. This is a much better size. Looks like our little ant friend found some food too. The dust is super bad down this road over here, so I like to come over here with my brush, kind of clean it all off on the back end. I feel like I'm doing some good, but I'll probably just get some more dust on here soon. This step gets really bad too. I want to make sure this stays clean so that when it retracts in, it doesn't get stuck. This next dish is my favorite. It's packed full of greens and rice noodles and salmon. We're gonna make our sauce first with some soy sauce, some garlic, a little bit of sesame oil, and some red chili sauce, and mix that all together. Next, we'll add a big bunch of greens to our bowl with some smoked salmon that's cut up, some cucumbers, some nori sheets that are all torn up and thrown into the bowl, and then our rice noodles, some scallions, some everything but the bagel seasoning, a little bit of lime, and then we put our sauce on top and we can mix all of that together. And what I love about the dish is it's really easy. You can pre-make these rice noodles ahead of time and then just keep them in the refrigerator. And then of course I always like to add a little bit of kimchi to the side. Sometimes if I'm cooking some extra smelly food like fish or chicken, I'll take it outside. So now we just need to wait for this to get to pressure and then we can release it outside and keep the smells from being on the inside. The other thing is I'll take my induction cooktop outside, also plug that into electricity and cook outside. So you can do all of these things as well, depending on what you have. Good morning there. Who is ready for breakfast? Of course, we have to have our coffee, which isn't made yet. And I'm gonna actually cook something different today for breakfast besides my oatmeal. And you'll get to see how I put it all together. And by the way, it is very healthy and nutritious, and you're gonna probably be surprised. All right, guys, here's our breakfast for this morning. We have a beautiful grapefruit and an English muffin and egg sandwich with spinach and tomato and a little bit of Canadian bacon and the thin cheese. It's so, so yummy and healthy. Just make sure everything is whole food and whole grain. You know, being in these cities mostly in the last year, I tend to eat out a little bit more because it's convenient and it's easy. But because I'm making the effort to lose weight, I'm cooking these healthier meals in the van. And as of this video, I've lost just a little over 22 pounds now. I'm super excited about it. There's been so many of you who have commented on my weight loss, and thank you so much for the encouragement. It feels really, really good. The Noom app is really, really working for me, and I feel so much better. Let me know in the comments how you liked this video and if you'd like to see more videos like this. All right, it's time to eat breakfast before it gets cold.